All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hunter, episode 131. Okay, so Poof is doing his Poof games, and he done did good.
He's doing good.
He convinced
So
Pito
far.
that Komugi is okay,
Which is
bad.
It's bad. Yeah.
It's really bad. And Gon didn't seem to notice. So what this means right now is that Palm,
a lot of different things could happen.
Yeah. Palm noticed what was going on, and that Pito is healing herself.
Right.
So she's like, this is not good. So Kill was like, okay, take her. I'm going over there to, figure out what's going on.
Oh boy.
But the thing is that just because he's going over there doesn't mean, things
who knows
are going
how long it would take him to get there.
they're going to stay over there, So,
Yeah.
yeah, Gon is in a bad place right now. He is in a very bad place right now.
Stop the presses.
Yeah, I think the question is what is Pito's goal going to be? Is she going to be like,
Right.
okay,
Now it's time for me to kill you.
now it's time for me to kill you, or is it time for me to basically just head back to the king as soon as possible?
Uh-huh.
Either one is
Yeah.
really bad, because they either get a fresh royal guard coming in,
Right.
or they get a fresh royal guard coming in and guns,
Right. But yeah.
out for the count or something.
Hopefully the whole thing of Komugi and what Poof's been doing, that'll come to light. That's the best thing that could happen, I feel like, if Pito goes back. She'll be like, okay, cool, where's Komugi?
Yeah, I think that in some ways, Pito.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see her as immediate of a threat to Gon at this moment. I think it's just the question of what Gon decides to do.
Sure.
And I see her more reacting to that.
Yeah.
But,
So let's say
let's get into this
find
episode
out.
and see what goes down. All right, guys, I'm going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Aw,
just in case we
such a good impression.
Yeah. And Gon somehow didn't hear that. You devious bugger.
Devious little bugger. I kind of like that his plans are now working a little bit, because it makes him interesting, but it also shows that he's taking risks.
Big risks.
And if these risks, of course, end up,
Yeah.
going badly, then yeah, we have to get all recapped up to Gon and his
Shindeiru.
Yeah. In some ways, by him being actually already dead here, it's unsettling, because they didn't actually answer the question of whether or not Kite could have been healed by Pito, but then they do the soul thing, and it's like, wait, is she saying, that there would have been no way to heal him? And I think that is what she was saying either way. But not only that, he is also already dead.
But it's weird, because Kite's body is just sort of collapsing here, but before, even though Pito wasn't actively controlling it, it was still fighting. So,
But either way,
yeah.
here we are. And the opening. Yep. Wow.
It's so crazy to think that
like
it still uses this opening, like because this opening is all focused on this arc, right? But it just goes to show how far this arc has come.
This happened a bit with Greed Island, a little bit with the Hunter exam.
Maybe.
I mean, those were way shorter, yes.
Way shorter. And
the York New one had 2 openings, right? Because I remember there was a point where we had to, don't watch this opening.
Yeah, I think so.
And there was another one that they were fine with us watching.
But like this one, they're using it for the entire arc, and all of it works.
Yeah, we still live in a world where that hasn't happened yet.
Well,
so
it might have. That might have been 116.
Oh, that might have been 116. Sure.
Like, we don't know.
Yeah. On the one hand, I'm not going to take any of the colors literally, but the idea of Gon, you know, being like,
right,
like, you know, going mob psycho essentially, like,
right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay.
Why tell them that? Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose?
Oh, he's trying to split them up.
Oh. I guess that concludes negotiations.
Get lost, scumbag. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, and he's going after
Here
him.
we go. Awesome. Wow.
Oh, man.
Okay. Okay.
If he uses that to get there, he won't be able to use it to fight Neferpito.
We don't know how much time is allotted. That's a minor plot thing.
But it really didn't seem like long when he was fighting Yuppie, so...
Yeah, but we don't know power amount he's outputting.
Sure,
There's a whole lot of factors that are just kind of under the radar. It doesn't really matter. It's just,
yeah.
I think it's just basically whether or not the plot wants, you know, that to be a thing, or not.
It's interesting that they aren't showing Pito's eyes.
Well, I think she does feel bad for
Gon?
For Gon, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because his emotion is real, and she, on some level, feels empathy. So, yeah. But
what happens now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Can't let your fangs get into the king.
But at least she's telling
Oh,
him.
you hear the music though?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the music is fantastic. This is great because it's the, you know, I don't want to, but I have to kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. His voice does not match the music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we might be seeing it here.
Here we go.
We might be seeing it here. You should have just killed him while he was down.
This music, guys. What is this?
It's amazing.
Oh, dang. Oh my god.
Okay.
All right. I don't think they've ever used this music before, have they?
I don't think so.
This Oh, what? Oh my
Holy
god.
crap.
Oh my god. This is not good. No. Oh no.
That's gone.
No.
His body is literally just disintegrating.
Yeah.
I suppose that's the strongest condition of all.
He's gonna kill himself, basically. Oh, the voice change.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
Yeah.
Oh, this is yeah.
I love the whole design and the art and animation and everything that they're doing for it.
Whoa.
This is happening?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait, did he just teleport or?
What? I don't even. What? Oh my god! It's like he. It's like he just grew.
Biscued.
Yeah, it's like he just biscued. Like he just grew 20 years old. Like 20 years older.
Okay.
Because this is Kite's resting ground, I guess. Oh my god, his voice.
I don't.
Oh my.
I don't even know what I'm seeing.
I don't know either, but I mean, he is an enhancer, so.
But
I don't think this is gonna end well for either of them.
oh no,
No, like
definitely not.
this is the like the idea of the hair going so far like up. It's
Yeah.
almost as if he's releasing too much. Like the hair is just a physical manifestation of him, releasing too much aura.
Yeah, this is a very particular design choice that they did.
I mean, it's amazing. Cool, so she's giving some kind of explanation for it. But I mean, you're a royal guard, Pito, so at least he's not fighting the king, right? I mean, who knows what would happen then? It might not even be a big deal because
Yeah, she doesn't know if this will last, like if it's just going to be something to kill her. Or what.
Because I think it's more so to kill her because she's the one that betrayed his trust with Kite and everything.
Here we go.
And
I love that his aura is golden right now.
yeah. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, she goofed. She goofed so bad. Oh no.
You just activated my Alucard.
Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh.
No way.
Oh my gosh. Yo. Rock. Yeah. Then. Oh my gosh. This is just raw desire to kill.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Raw willpower concentrated into hatred and
can't change
desire
your
to
trajectory
kill
while you're falling.
Nope.
Well, actually, maybe she could if she like.
I don't know, but I think she's completely. She's completely out. Oh! Jeez. Oh, is she dead? Whoa. Oh. So this will kill him.
Wow.
This will kill him.
Well, it'll either kill him or he just won't be able to use Nen after this. I'm not sure.
Yeah. There's some kind of exchange going on, like on a consistent rate here. Good grief. Oh, she's pasted.
Yeah.
Oh. And he's just Terminator walking up to her.
Yep.
Because he doesn't care.
Right.
He doesn't care at all about... Oh, man. Oh!
Oh!
The weight of his steps. Oh, my God. Oh.
Kill was going to get to see this.
Holy crap. Oh.
Oh, he's not stopping.
Oh my gosh.
Just getting like over and over again.
Oh.
I love how there's no other sound.
Yeah. I have a feeling this is gonna get like really, really... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not dead, but broken.
Yeah. Oh. Jeez.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Oh, now he's gonna break. Now he's gonna break. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
A big one.
Oh! She's still alive. Holy crap. Oh my god, no, her oh! Oh no, 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 no.
I love this music choice here. Oh no.
No,
No, no, no,
no,
not Killua.
no,
No,
not Killua.
no, 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 no.
No. An arm. An arm. Was that...
Wait.
That's Gon's
okay,
arm,
that's
right?
Gon's arm.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. She had like some kind of upon death condition, or it just acted independently. Like, holy crap. Ugh. Oh. Oh. Wow. Oh my god. Oh! Oh, he did not! Oh! Oh my god. She's already dead. Yeah. Jeez. Oh my god. Well, yeah. Holy crap, guys! That all happened in one episode.
It did.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, you realize, I actually don't know what to say, because, okay, let's recap this. That's easy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. So,
Neferpito decided she had to kill Gon.
Before that, so
Poof tried to play him. You know, he tried to approach him and all that. Didn't work. It was great.
Yeah, Killua left. I thought he had left before that, but okay. Well, no, I think what it was is that he was thinking about leaving.
Yeah, that's
and then because of what Palm saw. Mm-hmm. And then Poof shows up and tries to egg them on to split up, and it's gonna work, because it's Gon. But then Gon calls Pito a liar because she decides that she has to kill Gon for the king,
right?
For the sake of the king. Now that's a very, very choice turn of the phrase. So she's basically saying, I'm sorry, this is something I have to do because I am in service. I have loyalty. I have a duty to another, just as much as you have a duty and service and loyalty to Kite, and that is why we are here. I have my own loyalties to uphold.
Yeah.
And she did this with, I would say, the knowledge that there was a potential risk of her dying, but at the very least she has the belief that as long as he's not, fighting the king, she has, nothing to worry about because this is her duty to protect the king. Now, when Gon started to release all of his emotion, his hatred, his frustration, his pain, everything, you realize how much of this has been building. And this is something that I feel like the anime is making the proposition to be a payoff for almost all of Gon's emotional development as a character.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be the recap after this event, or just the consequences of this event, which, to be fair, were just specific enough and vague enough that they could be very far-reaching. They could be, you never use Nen again.
Yeah.
It could be kind of the equivalent of Kurapika's kind of,
Right.
But not exactly, because Kurapika would just die. But with this one, it seems like either Gon literally took away years of his life, and potentially his ability to use Nen. So whatever's going on there was an exchange made, and Gon did not care about the consequences.
Nope.
In some ways, I like that there wasn't a strict knowledge of whatever the deal was.
Right. It was just he wrote a blank check.
Yeah, he wrote a blank check. Yes, that is a great way to put it.
And
yeah. And when you write a blank check with your soul, your very essence as the payment. Oh man. I really worry that right now this is the moment for Gon, where it's not necessarily that he's done from the story, but the old Gon that we knew is done from the story. Forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is kind of the brutality of human evolution.
Sure,
it mirrors in some ways Netero's line that he gave you should never underestimate the capacity for humanity's malice and evolution and all that. But sorry, you were going to say something.
Oh, just that it also like in the same way that Kurapika had his amazing, whole arc with York New.
Right.
And there were consequences of that, right?
Yeah, serious
He
ones.
didn't come away unscathed.
Nope. He's basically gone from the story now.
Right. In the same way that, he did kill some of the people he was after, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was successful largely in his endeavors. He had a price to pay.
Yeah.
And
there's no real success that can come out of this for Gon.
Right. It's the whole idea of, when revenge is a dish best served cold, dig 2 graves, one for them and one for you. And that's amazing and incredible, and I don't know how they're going to handle that given that Gon is the main character, but this is HunterxHunter. They don't care about those things.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think the whole idea of main characters really matters too much, because I think right now Gon is going to live, and
right.
As far as him living, that means that Killua will be able to be by his side.
Yeah, that's a good point. As long as Gon is still alive,
right?
Then,
him and Killua can continue their friendship, and that's kind of the main character of HunterxHunter, the relationship between Gon and Killua. And this is funny, we think back to all the moments where Gon has had his moments of being different than Killua, being also kind of off. But I think back to the moment where Gon says, like, it's okay, we're going to go in there and save Kite. And Killua is like, you are the light, Gon.
Yeah.
And we look at this moment. Gon is wreathed in darkness. If anything,
he actually was wreathed in light.
He was wreathed in light a little bit towards the end of it.
Yeah.
But when you look at the emotions coming off of him, no, he's wreathed in darkness.
Yeah.
He's wreathed in pain. I would say, actually, if there's not actually as much emotion that I was feeling coming off of Gon.
No.
I was feeling more just physical pain.
Yep.
Like just pure pain. There's nothing emotional about pain. Pain causes an emotional response.
Right, it's scary and all that, yeah.
But it in of itself is cold and unfeeling. It is something that has it doesn't care at all. And that's something that we saw in Gon, was that he was numb to the point where all this emotion came off of him, and that granted him power. But I think he only channeled that emotion specifically for power, but he was completely unfeeling. He felt nothing as he pummeled Pito to death.
Well,
and holy crap, he pummeled her to death.
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay. Can we talk about how they actually did a shonen power up right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
This is the perfect shonen power up. Sorry, I'm done.
And
go ahead.
Okay, so one of the things when I was watching this is when they brought up the whole notion of using up his life energy and never be able to use it again. All that stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap! Was Bleach's whole ending just a really half-assed attempt at ripping off this? This one episode.
Yep. I think so.
And I think so, because even down to the whole thing of the aura style, the being very apathetic about everything, the super long hair that was sort of floating. Now, granted, and this goes
I don't know timelines, but
I don't know timelines about it and stuff.
I think HunterxHunter is earlier.
I think HunterxHunter's
definitely earlier.
Yeah,
I just know there were a lot of hiatuses.
At the very least, the manga, is probably earlier.
I just know that there were hiatuses.
Right, but this came out in 2011, and I believe it was constant airing until then. So, yeah. So I don't think it would have been past 2013 by this time. But either way, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it, because
they built up to it properly.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't basically ruin it by explaining how it works.
Yeah. I'm so impressed with the show for not doing that. And they gave that just enough from Pito basically saying he had to have done something like this.
Right.
But we know, because of how much time they've spent with Nen, we know at the very least what it has to be for, we know for the most part what it has to be. It's not something where...
But even then we don't really.
No. Of course we don't know the details, but we know that there was some kind of an exchange made.
Right.
There was a pledge, there was a price, there was a condition, there was some kind of deal made.
Yeah.
And this is something that is crazy. They actually did something new with Nen in the middle of this fight that wasn't with Gon. It was the crazy thing that
the
happened with
after-death
Pito
thing.
Yeah, the part where basically the Nen ability itself picked up Pito, and that's, I think there's probably an emotional will condition mishmash kind of connection in there, where it's not meant to be as specific as possible.
Right, exactly.
But the point is that Pito has so much dedication to the king, and that's all wrapped up in her Nen abilities and all this other stuff, that it basically, puppeteered her to, kill, Gon, basically to fulfill the original desire of her mission.
Okay, and can I just say, I am so happy that with how that turned out, because I thought for a second there.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna kill Killua for a second, or at the very least, severely injure him to the point of him being done for
and that just,
a while.
Oh man, that would have been.
But no, Killua actually saved his life.
Killua saved his life. Gon
lost an arm,
just losing an arm.
Yep. Jeez.
Now, as for that explosion at the end, that was really big, and Gon will have all sorts of problems because of what he did here. And who knows if Killua, I hope Killua ran before that explosion happened, because that probably would have sucked. But
I think we can concur that Pito is dead.
I think so.
I think we can safely guess that Gon is
alive.
But that's it.
That is the most
we can say. I think that Killua is definitely alive.
Yep. And I think he's largely okay.
I think he's going to be completely okay, but he's going to be scarred emotionally. This is something that I really am wondering how they can actually keep a story with Gon going with this, because on some level I actually think it would be cool to just have Gon basically have to live with this and just
absolutely
not that but Kurapika him, push him out of the story.
Sure. Well, one of the things that we mentioned I mentioned how Bleach tried to shoehorn this whole aspect, whatever.
Yeah.
But of course the big issue is that they didn't actually stick with it, right? But Hunter is not that kind of show. So even though they don't go into the mechanics of things as much anymore, because it's more they established that, and now they can do all the narrative things that they want to do, and the audience can trust that yes, it works, or
the creator can also trust the audience that we can trust them, basically.
So Gon is never going to be the same after this. Not just because of emotionally and
personality,
all that stuff, but physically, they're
mentally,
a whole long litany list of things. And
I could see him getting healed. I could see him getting healed with regards to his arm and stuff.
Sure.
I'm sure that will eventually. I would love to see.
We've seen Gon lose an arm before.
Well, I would also love to see cybernetic. That sounds dumb. Please don't.
I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think they're gonna do that. But the thing is that Nen is so crazy, it can basically do anything. So my main thing is that let Gon and Killua have some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Move them out of the story and have an episode dedicated.
Go back to Whale Island.
Have an episode dedicated to them at some point, just kind of resting and recouping. Wow, and I will be very happy. In some level, that's really all I need now after this.
Yeah.
But the big thing I'm curious about is, are they going to basically just cliffhanger this part, go back to all the other things, and basically be you can wait a little bit for the actual results and consequences of that whole event.
Yeah.
Because do you think Killua will leave Gon's side now?
Oh, absolutely not.
Never.
Absolutely
never.
not.
In some ways, Jacob, I just realized this is how they're actually safe.
Yeah, because
they're completely
there's
far away
from
the whole the palace thing and everything.
Yeah, so now they could everything back at the palace could be nuked, and it'd still be okay, because
oh my god,
and now I have this picture.
Crap.
Now I have this picture of and I know this is very specific, and we haven't been to Whale Island in a long time.
Yeah,
but when Gon left Whale Island, with the little pinky promise kiss, seal it with a kiss thing or whatever with Mito-san. now I'm just picturing him and Killua returning, gone with his one arm, and whatever else.
And is he going to be big, or
no? I don't think so.
You think that will return back? He'll return
I think
back
he'll go
to
back
regular size.
to regular size, and there might be other. Of course, there might be other costs. There will be other costs.
Loose skin. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That's a horrible joke at this time.
But basically, at this point, I feel like Gon is basically a war vet. Yeah. And he needs to just go have some peace and quiet with the people he cares about, and they can hopefully help him sort through all the PTSD that he probably has to deal with.
I wonder if this is actually some kind of thing that will... Like, I don't know if Jing has any kind of, like, conditional, like, kind of recon stuff with regards to his son. But maybe this event... I don't know, that sounds kind of dumb. My idea is that basically, like, when...
No.
Like, he put some Nen things on his son so that when Gon, does something crazy or whatever, he'll become aware of it. And this will be kind of
and then he'll
his
start
thing
being
where,
a father.
Or basically this will be a thing where it will instigate the meeting of them.
Sure, yeah. Way to go, son. You've destroyed yourself and all of that, and I couldn't be more proud. Yeah. Let's talk about the dialogue, because there was some insanely good dialogue here that I feel like I need to watch this episode about 6 or 7 times just to get the words, because I think every single word really matters. So when she decides to kill Gon, he calls her a liar. Right.
Now,
and it's interesting because she had already told him, I can't fix Kite, right?
Right.
And it was only at that point, like...
Yeah, it is interesting because there's this aspect of Gon that we've talked a lot about throughout the show. It's something that we go, oh, he's kind of a stereotypical, shonen protagonist, except for these little moments.
Right.
And there's kind of this thin thread that kind of weaves its way through Gon's story where we see him, I would say, being really cold. Yeah. We see him just being like, I don't know. I would say hypocritical, but also I would say some kind of also just like mild form of sociopathy. Like it's like he it's something that's interesting because we know that he's not any kind of sociopath or whatever. He cares deeply for
at the very least
Kite. Yeah. I think that actually he does care for Killua as well. But the thing is that there are these points where he decides that someone has crossed a line. And once they cross that line, they're dead to Gon. Right. Like, they are basically...
They're going to be dead.
They're going to be dead. There are moments where we've seen Gon call out, I would say, other people on their BS. And it's like, wow, Gon, you went straight to the heart of the issue. You have such good insight. Your senses are so keen. You have all this good stuff. But there's this part of him that blocks out all of his own self-awareness. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff to go psychologically into the whole idea of the hero with regards to Gon's emotional capitulation. I can speak. Jeez, this episode messed me up. Like, I'm able to speak now, kind of, but I'm still just kind of shook by imagery. And the sound, the music.
The music was excellent.
The music was terrifying.
It was really, really good.
Like really.
Yeah. The weird thing, though, okay, so I was watching, this, and the things that were happening, I was like, okay, all right, cool. I feel like because of HunterxHunter, I don't get surprised as easily now. Like when I'm watching
because you expect the unexpected.
Yeah, I expect the unexpected. So it's more like when I see something wacky happen, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's what they're deciding to do. Okay,
sure.
And even when Gon started to blow up and all that stuff, and he got super hulked out and everything, I was like, okay, all right, it's an interesting design choice and everything, and all right, cool. but I felt like it hadn't really hit me at that point. I'm just like, all right, something big's happening here. I didn't expect, this episode to be such a crazy episode, but all right.
I was shook by the presentation of it, because I feel like the opening sells that little thing short. Because in the opening we see him kind of go,
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And if you, I think if we looked really closely, it does actually show hair shooting up out of his head in the opening.
Right, but it didn't show him getting bigger. It didn't.
But like that part where he was black and white only.
Oh yeah,
it was faded, and it did seem kind of Mob Psycho-ish.
Yeah,
I wonder if Mob Psycho copied this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I totally believe that. Yeah, and from the stylistic standpoint, like it's absolutely yep, and they did an exceptional job basically with taking this whole concept that isn't really a new concept of unleashing the monster within, blah, 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 getting more powerful, and everyone's bucking the eye. Could have easily beaten him before, but now
no one's watching except for Pito.
Except for Pito, but Pito could have easily killed Gon before this happened.
No.
Like
Palm
she totally
was watching.
Sure, yeah, she probably was watching.
Oh,
and that's a whole other thing. But
when we go back, Palm will be like,
yeah, that'll be ridiculous.
She'll have seen all that. Oh my gosh.
But all the design choices I feel like were very intentional.
Yeah.
The whole black and white thing, yes, and I feel like that doesn't really need any explaining. It's excellent.
Totally.
It shows Gon's confusion, his anger, the storm of emotions, and the fact that it's like they showed his hand at one point, and like the fingers were just gone. Like
it looked like he was disintegrating into black smoke.
And I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happened. He basically just disassembled himself and reassembled himself. But then the fact that they had him show up older, with his hair longer and going up to the sky, the hair having a red aura, and then very specifically that the aura of the rest of his body was gold.
Yeah.
Those 3-4 things, I feel like are very, very intentional. The whole idea of him being older and bigger and all that stuff, they made the connection to Bisky, but that of course it's also something very different, and it almost seemed like they could have basically been hinting at what kind of cost it was, that he was basically saying, in order to be like that now, you can take all of what that would have been and past and just it's gone, right?
Wow.
That's complete speculation on my part, but that was one of those things that just seemed like it. And the fact that his hair went up like that, what it reminded me of, and they had the visual imagery to back this up too, is a candle. Right, they had the candles before. Sure. They had the two burn out, like, and get blown out, and then there was the one left, and eventually I think it actually got knocked over. But that basically he's burning the candle very hot right now. There's everything going into this, right?
And there's a limited amount of wax in a candle.
Exactly, there's a limited amount of wax in a candle, and that was a very big flame. If you were to look at his hair, for even though he was much bigger, a very small body, right?
So maybe the body got bigger to accommodate the aura.
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah. How the
mechanics
happened,
work,
I don't.
Yeah, we don't
really care. But then the fact that it was red, there's the idea of bloodlust there, right?
Yeah.
And
rage,
absolutely.
Power,
and then the fact that the aura was gold everywhere else.
Yeah,
that was really good, because it basically gives this idea of some sort of transcendent state, basically.
Perfect.
And the thing is that I've seen, I mean, I haven't seen many Battle Shonen, right? But I've seen enough of that whole like style of thing, and this sort of aspect where I've seen the monster, being released, whatever, blah blah blah, and it, at a point it gets laughable. This was not laughable.
No.
They did an excellent job with it. They did a different because the visual style was so different, and they built up to it properly, so that I was primed for this to happen, and it wasn't just going to be thrown off as just another tropey thing or whatever, right? Yeah. But the fact that they made the visuals be so different than what I was expecting, that was just additional goodness to help take it more seriously. But the part that just destroyed me is when Killua sees him and calls out to him. He calls out his name. And even later when Gon says it's all right, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. It doesn't hurt,
Yeah. that
it's missing the whole point of, why Killa was there.
The idea is that it's okay to hurt Gon, and right now he puts himself into a state where he can't hurt, because of course it makes sense, right? But that's not the place you want to be in, right?
Yeah.
And you might not be hurting right now, but he is.
Yeah.
But he is.
Yep.
And
yeah, there's something to be said for when we see Gon and we hear him beating the focus of his pain and hatred and rage at this point. And I think he's crying and he doesn't necessarily even know why he's crying. I think the only part of it that he does understand is that Kite's gone, and Kite's never coming back.
Yep.
And so he understands that. But I think in some ways Gon was so disconnected from his soul, from who he truly was, that he had just become a being of raw physicality and strength and all that. And he doesn't feel pain, but his body knows that he's suffering. His internal state knows that he's breaking himself. So it's trying to give him the responses of help me. It's really tragic, I think, because when he turns around to Killua, he just kind of acknowledges, oh, you're here. But you look at him, and his whole being, his countenance is screaming, help me. Help me.
And the one thing he says is, I don't need help.
Yeah,
basically.
Basically. And the crazy thing about it is that when I think back to having, watched this just now, it's almost like I can actually hear Gon. Like, my brain has tricked me, like, right now, just, like, thinking about this, to hear him saying, help me. Like, doesn't it even feel like that?
Yeah, like, when you said that, you didn't even have to say anything, just the idea of help me. And now I'm actually wondering if they did have that in there somewhere. I don't know. Oh no, I think it might have been the narrator. I think the narrator might have said something about it.
Yeah. But the narrator was a perfect thing to introduce for a few seconds at like specific key points here.
But I'm so glad he wasn't.
I'm so glad that once things went quiet, they stayed quiet.
Yep. The silence in this episode was excellent. As good as the music was, my favorite parts were when everything went still.
Yeah, the music for the powering up, so to speak, was perfect. It was chilling. It was terrifying. It didn't match Gon's voice. Kudos again to Gon's voice actor or voice actress for doing such a good job at communicating his brokenness in the whimpering voice. Well, why aren't you? Why are you healing yourself?
Right. When this was the other thing that just destroyed me. You're gonna do that once you're done with what you're doing, right? A couple reasons. One, she'd already told him that she can't do it.
Yep.
So the fact that he's asking her, he's not in a good way right now.
Right.
And two, the difference between how he was before of, if you try to delay me again, I'll kill her, to but once you're done, right?
Oh, guys, this was crazy. This was so good. The part that I really want to take and slow it down to microseconds and stuff is the part where it goes back to black and white with just Gon and Killua talking to each other. Because I feel like there's words in there that you can't just gloss over. And even now, just thinking back, I don't have a perfect memory of every single word spoken and stuff, but you can hear the pain coming from both of them, but the difference in the pain.
Yeah.
The thing that Killua is realizing that, again, he can't help Gon here. He can't do anything. And Gon, I think in some ways becoming just a little bit self-aware because Killua's there. Becoming aware of the connection that they have again, but because of that aware of the distance that is now there. This is something I'm really curious, because I have a lot of faith in Gon to be able to bounce a little bit back, a little bit,
sure,
but not fully. And I think that's fine. But I think what I'm more kind of looking forward to is Gon trying to bounce back a little bit, and Killua just having that shadow over his eyes and just being like, "Shut up," like you know, I like you don't need to pretend or anything. And when we look at just the fight, the massacre, the brutality, the
execution,
the execution, yes.
Yeah.
There's this part of it where you think about how Pito's Nen ability, what did they call the corpus something? Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like another Nen technique. It was pretty cool. Another kind of puppeteering thing, but on Pito instead of on other things. You get the feeling that in some ways Gon surrendered himself to his own abilities, so he is in a way being puppeteered perfectly by his will, his
that's a nice parallel.
So when he's doing these things, he's not got any emotion on him actually until the part where Killua shows up and you see him crying. But also then after that, when he takes his severed arm,
which was awesome, by the way.
This was so badass, but like it's hard to get like really excited about it because of all the pain and just horror going on, and just uses it as a sword, as a spear, basically, to plunge it into the belly of Pito and the corpse of Pito. Let's be real here. Pito's head is gone at this point. Pulverized.
Puns aside.
Yes, thank you. But there's
you know what is crazy about that whole idea, right?
Which idea?
Pito fighting beyond the grave, kind of a thing.
Oh, sure. What's that?
Fighting when she's already dead. Gon kind of was too.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like imagery of the black and white craziness and his body disintegrating or whatever that was aside. It's weird because this is another one of those moments where Hunter basically is telling us, because this was very much planned from the beginning. Like Hunter's
you can tell,
Hunter's a discovery-based story, and the exact details of how this was going to go, were up in the air. But this was one of the foundational ideas of Hunter.
Yeah, you could get into the details as to say which part of it was actually there. I think Pito as a character obviously wasn't thought of at the very
of course,
very
metamorphosized and all that stuff as the show went on, and Togashi got to know the characters more and everything.
Yeah, but the idea of Gon expressing all of his emotion in one scene of pure, just awesome display, but also very terrifying display.
And almost more importantly, the fact that Kill was there for that and how much it destroys him, right? Yeah. Because it's the whole role reversal, right? So,
at least it was planned out from the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc, for sure.
For sure, yeah. But
I'd actually love to interview Togashi now.
Oh yeah,
because
that'd be great.
I don't think actually as much of it was planned out as we think. The more and more I think about it, just the more and more
details,
I kind of think about the details and things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll bet you what happened. I'll bet you what happened was this design was drawn long before the story for the design came up. That's my thought. Because I think as an artist first, he's probably loved to draw before he loved to write stories and stuff.
Yeah,
he probably came up with the idea for Gon as a character. And then he's like, what if I made him older? And he draws an older character and stuff, and the hair might not have necessarily been crazy and stuff, but he's like, ooh.
Sure.
When he's thinking back on his old stuff, and he's like, oh, wait a minute. This, combined with this emotional, dark, tense moment that I have building for Gon, I'm going to combine these two ideas and make it the perfect marriage with the Nen abilities that have been built up through my story thus far. I'm just thinking like, just trying to think about it from an abstract way.
Right.
Because he writes in a very like, I'm just kind of building upon what I already have. And yet I don't see him having planned out very much of the details from the beginning. But I'm with you. Keep going with this,
But here's what I find so incredible, right? Mm-hmm. The amount of time that he basically spent building towards this. Oh, yeah. And you could say that he spent a lot more time building towards it than he had to, right? True. Like there were... It's this idea of the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Okay. Right? Yeah. Because when I think about, the whole idea of story, the size and scope and everything is HunterxHunter, right? I would personally not agree with the decision of the amount of time that they spent to get to this point.
Okay, yeah.
But I cannot argue with how amazing a moment like this is, an episode like this is.
Yeah, the result of what they did. The result of it
speaks for itself.
Was worth
it. Cannot be denied. And it's this thing that I'm having trouble reconciling of at what point is the pearl of great price, essentially, that is this episode. Mm-hmm. At what point does it just kind of not matter how many episodes it takes to build up to something like this? Because...
Or how much nods from the character's growth over the course of time did they need in order to make this feel like it was actually built up.
Right, because I can point out some of the moments that were very definite, build up to this.
Totally.
Apart from Kite, like the things, all the different interactions with Lagan and Killua, where it's them connecting and bonding and all that stuff. It's like those are the easy ones, right? But then there's all the time surrounding those moments where it might not concretely add to what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. It might not add any tangible, measurable value or weight to this episode, but the fact that they're there,
right?
If they were to be taken away, this episode would be worse off because of it.
Yeah, it's really tough because when I think about rewatch value for stories, one of the things that's really tough to set up is the feeling of having everything build towards a moment that has depth in it and still that kind of wow, like I would say the climax value. So basically you build up, you climax and it goes down and then it builds towards another climax.
Sure, yeah.
But the thing about thriller type shows is that oftentimes they're going for pure shock value without as much build-up, so you end up kind of losing the rewatch value going through.
Sure, yeah.
With something like this, I think they're basically saying, all right, now go back and watch this show and try to see what you can find that does build up towards this. And I think the tricky thing for us as writers is that we're thinking like, wait, but if you're a discovery-based writer, how could you have possibly built up towards this and have it actually have been designed for build-up?
Right.
Without having it be a thing where, once he's writing this part, he's like, all right, now I'm going to extrapolate from all these moments that I have percolating in my brain and written on all my whiteboards and, notes and all that, and combine it into this perfect, fusion of character development, build up, and all this stuff for the characters involved. And also mix in some depth that will allow for people to go back multiple times through and go, wait a minute, maybe we interpreted this wrong. Maybe this part actually means this. Oh, that ends up that brings about a whole new stream of discussion. Because I think the big thing that's here, that's actually going to be the most rewatch value, is studying Gon's character. Because I feel like he's got enough parts of him that are open to interpretation, that it leaves a lot of rewatch value.
Yeah.
But there's other parts of him that are so clearly like contradictory in nature that you then, as the viewer, have to then go back and go, wait a minute, how much weight does this part have in his, makeup as a character versus this part, which directly contradicts that, but it also has value in the makeup of his character. And that we've told you guys how many times we love contradictions in characters.
Oh yeah,
because
it's fantastic.
Because it leads towards something else generally. So if you have two contradicting forces, you can think of it like magnets. They repel each other.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if they're angled just a certain way, they'll repel in a specific direction. Like they'll either repel like this, or sometimes they'll lead towards mild, kind of. It can be an attractive force, and they'll end up kind of,
Yeah, think about it this way.
I'm sorry, I'm using dumb visual metaphors, but you can go for it.
Say, triangulating a signal. The signals need to be coming from different directions.
Yes,
right. You need multiple signals that are different in so
nature.
that way you can compare them and see where they overlap. Right. With contradictions, it's the same thing. And then because of that, it makes it very clear where you're supposed to go, but it still leaves room for exploration because it's a contradiction, right? So it's not going to be cut and dry. And it just didn't make for amazing characters and amazing development. And I have nothing but respect for Togashi and how he managed to put something like this together.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't just happen. Right.
There's parts where you realize that he spaced out things related to Gon enough that you kind of attribute, I would say, more value to it than there actually is. Like this is me not playing devil's advocate. This is me trying to bring a bit of realism into this here, because when you look at actually how many character moments Gon has, where they're actual character moments that I would say have some relevance to this, there are a lot of them. But as to how many of them, directly refer to this versus kind of being indirect references to this.
Just general time spent with the character versus foreshadowing and build up to this moment.
It's probably a very small number.
And the moments that they do have are probably along the similar wavelength.
Yes.
Which is like, okay, the fact that relatively like kind of simple methods are being used.
Yes.
Is that a detriment, or is that actually
a double plus?
Is that basically something where it's like, take note, guys, this is how you do these things. You keep it simple, and I
actually think that this is the genius of Hunter x Hunter.
What?
The plot and the structure is complex and overtly so.
Yes, yeah. It bends over backwards.
To make sure it's complex. And this is probably my only critique about Hunter x Hunter as a overall show.
Is that sometimes it's needlessly complex?
Sometimes it's needlessly complex. And the thing is that's not necessarily bad, because execution is important. And we're just talking about concept right here. Yeah, I have some issues with the concept parts of Hunter x Hunter here and there. It's a big show. Sure. But the thing about the characters is that actually when you get down to the core of them,
super simple.
It's super simple with a peppering of contradictions. And this is probably why I gasmed so hard with the Yuppie stuff back, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was
half a dozen or
118
a dozen
or
episodes ago.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I'd say it was around a dozen episodes ago. But that stuff right there, Yuppie's character had been built up to be so simple.
Right.
So simple. And they kept executing on it. It was great. But then when they started to pepper in the contradictions, I was just like,
Yep. Good stuff.
And that's probably why I overall preferred Killua's character up until this point, was they built upon the peppered contradictions. They explored his development of those contradictions. With Gon's, we just felt this constant buildup. It was constantly it was constantly reminding us that these contradictions existed.
Right.
And we didn't know what it was building towards specifically. We knew that there were moments of frustration and emotional turbulence that were getting escalated because of the conflict within the Chimera Ant Arc and because of Kite and Pito. And we started to realize that it was building towards Gon having some kind of a snapping or breaking point once they actually showed him breaking apart and snapping, so to speak, in the Chimera Ant arc. But when this episode happened, we realized that, everything in some ways with regards to Gon has been building up to this. And really, like, we've just seen it.
Yeah,
we're just I don't know how to process this much, I would say, realization of buildup without thinking like, holy crap, I have like 26 episodes I need to go back and rewatch and pick out those like 5-minute moments in every episode.
And what's crazy, what just blows my mind about this, and I've said that a lot, but with the buildup, right? It was very much over an extended period of time.
Long period of time, yeah.
The execution, however, and there were multiple points of execution and all that stuff. Yeah, there was 116. There were all kinds of different points throughout there, and it was really good. But for this style of execution, right? This dimension of it, condensed all into this episode.
It's a good point. Like one episode.
Yeah, and almost like they were basically saying, okay, we'll do episode 116, and that'll be crazy, and then 15 episodes later, we'll do the next one. You know, and that's it is breathtaking and awe-inspiring that both methods are done with such like masterful execution, because doing just one, great, awesome, you can have some amazing stories on both angles that way, but the fact that they have all the long form build up and everything, and then they just have an episode like this where they do all of it. They could have had this episode end with the cliffhanger of Gon being in his, crazy, distorted, black and white look, or when he appears with, long hair pointed towards the sky or whatever, or him and Neferpito about to fight. But they didn't. They did it all in this little 25-minute package. And there was a bunch of stuff that wasn't even about that. Like, they still had the stuff with Poof, and, like, recapping, all the previous stuff to make sure that we were, properly grounded for what was about to happen. Like, they did all of that in this one episode. Yeah. And that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that the episode itself is actually... now, this is going to sound weird, but the episode itself is actually not that impressive.
I see what you mean by that.
The thing that's impressive is that it actually was done in less than an episode. They did basically the whole thing in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was scary how much was happening and also how little was happening.
Right.
In a short period of time. Like, if you think about how much time it spends building with the music.
Oh, yeah.
And Pito being like, I'm sorry, I have to kill you. And Gon starting to lose it. Starting to channel all of his anger and his rage and starting to basically kill himself in order to gain power. Doing all this crazy stuff. That takes multiple minutes of episode time.
They do the lingering moments.
Right. Yeah. And then they walk to the forest. The little moment of Pito just being like, I gotta kill him. Lunges. Gon's gone. Haha. And then she's like, crap, where'd he go? And they show the first person perspective of her shifting around. And she's just like, crap, is he already gone? Is he going towards the king? She leaves. No, he's just sitting out there. He's just like, oh, you finally caught up. Let's go out into the forest. I don't want to destroy this place. It's like, whoa, wait. Gon is there? Like, do you realize, like, that was the moment where we realized that this is actually Gon. And he's not completely taken over until really the fight begins. The fight.
Right. I feel like this episode, as amazing as it was, doesn't really have all that much that can be said about it.
Because you say stuff about the stuff that led us to this episode.
Exactly. Because that's the mind-blowing aspect of it, is that it was able to capitalize on all that and execute on it in the one episode and everything. But with what they did, you can talk about the little things like, the gold aura and things like that. But really... The dialogue, excellent, right? But there's not that much to talk about because it already did everything that... Like, everything is apparent,
Yeah.
like there's not that much to further analyze because they did such a good job of showing it.
Yeah.
They didn't rush it. They spent time on the things that they wanted
good
to spend
point,
time
yeah.
on. Like the amount of time spent this episode with, when you think about how much, like how monumental this episode means,
Right.
like all of that stuff, all the build up that's come here, and the amount of time that is spent in this episode with nothing happening. It's
impressive.
incredible.
It's impressive because there's parts, I would say, with HunterxHunter where we're like, oh, this is the pacing choice they're going for. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
And then this episode happens, and they're like, we're going to stew this moment to its utmost.
We are going to
We're going to
relish it.
suck the bone marrow out of the life of this episode.
And here's the thing: the fact that they made the fight like so just non-existent is one of the best decisions they could have ever made. Because can you imagine how much the buzz would have been killed, how much the emotional weight of what's happening have been lost if we had to see them dashing around and beating the crap out of each other? Even when Gon finally does start repeatedly beating the crap out of Neferpito until she's dead and then
it's
some.
a sound.
It's a sound.
Yeah.
And we don't see Gon.
Yep.
We see Killua, right? And
That's just chilling.
which is chilling because we know, yeah, he's going to see this, and that's happening. We don't need it to be shown. I mean, this is
being shown.
It is being shown. This
Yeah.
is the next level being shown. They're showing it with just using sound, no actual visuals, even though it's a visual medium, right? And that gets us into the mental and emotional state that we need to be in order for them to be able to capitalize on it, and
Yeah.
they do. They really do, and they don't rush through it. Like,
Yeah. It is crazy to think that it's one episode, and yet it could have been done in 4 minutes, but they decided to have it take 15,
right?
because they really wanted the lingering moments to matter for the characters themselves, so that we understand the impact of all of this. And for those of you saying like, no, it couldn't have been done in 4 minutes. Of course not. Of course not. It would have sucked.
Yeah, it would have sucked.
My point
could have done it, but it would have been stupid.
Right. The point of that is to say then, like, they might have been able to make it still be just as good in 10 minutes, but then they added, 5 extra minutes of really good lingering moment stuff.
Yeah, which is crazy because okay, the whole idea of doing something in 15 minutes that has all this build-up stuff, right?
Yeah.
I can wrap my head around that as an idea. It's like, okay, yeah, you just get real careful with your time and all of that, and make sure that every few seconds is just adding something of tangible value, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't do that here. They got luxurious with it. They even though it was the culmination of so much.
Yeah.
And the amount of time that they had was relatively little.
Right.
They still managed to just have all of those moments.
It feels like it's the perfect amount of time in a lot of ways. I'm just saying that certain other types of shows that do this types of thing, they either spread it out over 3 episodes. Or, and I'm not talking about with cuts in between other things, they drag it out.
Yeah.
Or, in some ways, I could look at a show like, let's look at another show that does something similar to this. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Little bit of a spoiler, but Mustang and Envy at the end. There's a little bit of similarity. Little bit. Just a little bit.
Sure.
The whole...
Yeah.
But anyways, that actual footage, the footage that's involved in that, is about 4 minutes. There's a lot of cuts to other characters doing things in between that.
Right,
but
and that's how they...
That's how they actually like make it feel like...
achieve the same or similar effect that they do here, yeah.
But I would say this is leagues beyond that in a lot of ways, because they're stewing in the moments and the feelings of the few characters involved, by keeping it also to only a couple characters. It adds the value there. But I would say we talk so much about lingering moments where we're focused on a look or someone's reaction to a phrase that someone speaks. Daisuke desu, is that how you say I love you or something? but whatever. Someone saying like "I love you" or something.
Yeah.
And this isn't that. This is us lingering on the visuals. This is us lingering on sounds.
Yeah.
This is us lingering on like a primal, carnal, like representation of an emotion that, if we look at it in a different way, it could be 50 different it could be, it could be 15 different emotions or something. There's a lot that I would say that could be unpacked, but it's so simple in what it actually just is that
what this feels like.
I'm just gushing. I'm basically done.
Me too. Pretty much.
It's crazy.
But what this feels like is this feels like, and this is gonna sound really weird, but this feels like a fan service free scene.
Whoa.
So because fan service,
unpack that.
So fan service, what it's usually used is a way to sort of distract the audience, give something else there that that they will be able to, it'll get some response from your audience, right?
Okay. Yeah.
As a way to sort of be padding and filler for the other things that they want to do.
Sure.
And the reason that usually ends up bothering us so much is because it connotates this lack of confidence in the story that you're actually trying to tell. Yeah. And it can be jarring because you're going from one thing to something else, right?
Sure.
They didn't do that here. Yeah. They had such amazing confidence in what they were doing and that they were really crafting something incredible, that having there be moments where nothing's happening was absolutely fine, because they knew that the audience was in the right state of mind because of how they'd set everything up, because of how they'd guided them, that just the moments of void were actually full of so much.
Oh yeah.
And that is good storytelling. Like that's
And I feel like even our commentary is a little bit contradictory at points.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But like, guys, I could probably see, just in the capitulation aspect of this episode, I could see us with time, paper and pencil, writing like mini books about this.
Yeah, essays and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Because there's a lot to be gained here, not from just the story. There's a lot of meta commentary that can be made, and we're making a bit of it, but just know, like, this is kind of a moment that is too strong for actual speech and words. Yeah. It needs to be kind of analyzed like an abstract piece of art, or like a hard science, like something like like one or the other. You can't balance this. Like I don't know how to describe that.
And it's things like this where it's like, I see now, like, I mean, I've seen before this point, but it's another example of why people become so in love with Hunter x Hunter that that they say, no, this is the greatest show ever. Right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Do I agree? No. But the idea that episodes like this exist, right? Yeah. It's that idea where the people very truly are in love with this show.
For a good reason.
For a good reason, right? And that kind of love is not something that you can deny, and it's certainly not something that you can say that's invalid.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see how this show could ruin your taste for typical shonen.
Right. Well, or just for typical shows, because it has such a unique way of doing things on so many different levels.
You're like, why doesn't anyone else do this?
Right, exactly.
And you realize you can't actually. It's really freaking hard.
Well, and here's the thing. The reason this story probably exists is because Tagashi was thinking, I've always wanted there to be a story that's more like fill in the blank. Yeah. That's how Hunter x Hunter came about. Yeah. So any writers that are watching this, do that.
Yeah.
Make the story that you want to see in the world.
Don't wait for someone else to make it. If this is something that you are so passionate about, some of the formula and some of the, I would say, some of the chemistry involved in producing this work, and you have a desire to write, go write some bad stories, man. Yeah. Go write tons of bad stories.
Get all the bad stories done, because that way you can get to the good stuff like this. Because no one will, like, even if you were to try and explain it to somebody, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? And there's a lot of moving pictures. So no one would really be able to understand what you truly mean unless you show them. And not everyone will get it. Not everyone will be able to get to episode 131, right? That's totally understandable. It's 130 episodes in, right? But there will be the people that do.
Yeah.
And that makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys.
I want to go take a nap.
I want to go like eat some food.
Eat some food, yeah.
Because this episode drained me.
Yeah.
Like,
since when did Hunter x Hunter get become such an exhausting show to watch?
Oh, I mean, it's a good kind though.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the end of this video. If you want to watch the next episode's reactions right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got an early access there. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about stories, get involved in Discord events, where we've got tons of fun YouTube rewards and things that are in there. Yeah, and if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.